As a domestic violence judge in Miami-Dade County for many years, I know all too well the devastating impact domestic violence has on victims and their children. This is why we've partnered through the Advocate Program to develop Bridging Families and Communities.
Bridging Families and Communities, or BFC, is a service partnership that provides wraparound services for children and families impacted by domestic violence or high conflict in Miami-Dade County. Managed by the Advocate Program and mainly funded by the Children's Trust, BFC has provided services to more than 2,700 participants since 2008. It fills a critical gap in the community by integrating needed services across multiple funding and service delivery systems through the establishment of a domestic violence and high conflict system of care. BFC ensures that fewer children are exposed to violence, that the consequences and impact of violence are reduced. BFC also ensures that the family court process is shortened, that child exposure to high conflict is reduced, and that the coordination of services is enhanced.
What they actually do is they provide case management, they provide family team conferencing for the families, and they will sit down with all of the family members and try to determine what kind of services they need from the community.
Here at Bridging Families and Communities, we work with the families to identify what their unique needs are. And along with that, through our service partnership, we're able to help the families get connected to mental health consultation, to co-parenting sessions, supervised visits, and also to therapeutic supervised visits, along with helping them to connect to services in the community that they have identified to meet the needs.
Very often with these high conflict families, I can't get to the legal issue until some of these social issues are resolved.
As a care coordinator working with Bridging Families and Communities, we're actually able to work with the families and meet the families where they're at, whether that be in the home or that be going to court with them or even going to a school meeting.
The care coordinator from Bridging Families assisted me in getting therapeutical help for my children. She even helped me with questions I had in reference to schools and my co-parenting agreement with my ex-spouse. I have children with special needs, and they helped me get services for them. And she supported me and my family with questions. She was like an advocate for me.
Bridging Families and Communities can provide for the parents and children that we refer to them in ways that family court services is not able to. We hear directly from those families about how those resources are used and how much they appreciate the care and the coordination of BFC.
If I call BFC to come in, they will meet with the parties separately. They'll sit down. They actually sort out what the real issues are. By the time they've put all those services in place and the family has been part of making the decision of what needs to be done, I will have a hearing with them and everything is calm because all of a sudden the parties have a plan. They can see an end to their difficulties, and that end does not involve appearing in front of the judge every week. These cases are the ones that stop coming back. They come up with a plan, they follow the services, and I would say 95% of them never come back to court.
BFC has been engaged in program evaluations since its inception. It has examined outcomes related to care coordination and service provision, child behavioral symptoms, and parenting stress. During a 9-month period in 2012, BFC staff attempted to link care coordination clients with 1,514 needed services. Of these, families had their services completed 80% of the time. The provision of these services in a coordinated manner resulted in the successful completion of 92% of family service plan goals. BFC was able to significantly help children decrease levels of internalizing, attention, and externalizing behavior problems as shown by pre-post-test scores on the Pediatric Symptom Checklist 17. Also, the program used Parenting Stress Index short form to assess the extent to which it positively impacted parenting-related stress. Improvements in parental distress, the parent-child interaction, and child behavior problems were achieved.
Without BFC, it is likely that these parents and children would fall through the cracks. The system would not know that the needs of these children would not be met, and these children would be further jeopardized well into the future.
Victims of domestic violence are traumatized, physically, emotionally, and often financially. They need so many services, and without these services, they will return to the abuser. We see this every day, unfortunately. But through the court's partnership with Bridging Families and Communities, these services are provided to these individuals, allowing them the freedom at last to be able to escape the abuse and to start a new life, a life that's filled with freedom, safety, and security. This is an essential component of Bridging Families and Communities and an essential service that we need in Miami-Dade County.
BFC urges you to get involved in ending domestic violence through advocacy and volunteering. In addition, if your agency works with children and families, please contact us to see if we can partner together. Finally, if you have any questions about the program evaluation of BFC, please contact Dr. James Pan.